The game is the Yellow King. No one fucking knows what this is. Now you know what it is. The review. Yellow King is like the weirdest shit that I've ever seen. But before I talk about what made this so weird to me, I'm gonna talk about the game so I don't waste your time. The store page describes it as a dark horror early access MMO, but I wouldn't be recommending it to you if it were just that. I don't throw the term around lightly because I'm not a journalist, but I genuinely think this seems like a Souls-like. Those of you watching can probably already see some of the similarities. You got some dodges, some rolls. Here I am looking for loot, and my professional deduction skills have discovered a hidden wall. We then find a treasure chest, and it's of course fucking hostile and tries to kill me. Yeah, you can't fucking trick me, this is Dark Souls. The Yellow King takes place primarily in an infinite dungeon. The system is basically every day a procedural dungeon is generated, and we all get to visit the dungeon for the next 24 hours. There are also variants to the dungeon depending on how many people you're playing with. There's a solo variant, a group variant, and the guild variant. Solo is played with the least amount of mob density, followed by group, and then I'd imagine that guild is an absolute clusterfuck. On top of this, there's the hardcore mode. Every solo, group, and guild dungeon has a hardcore variant, and basically enemies will deal double damage but have more chances to drop loot. Currently there's only one dungeon type, this weird green one, but by lurking around in their Discord and from hearsay, you can see that there's gonna be a second dungeon based in this weird aquatic and Arctic theme coming soon. To progress to harder, more difficult floors of the dungeon, you have to kill dungeon bosses. Once you kill enough dungeon bosses, you're allowed to descend further into the dungeon itself. The further you get, the better the gear you find, and the better your gear, the easier it is to clear even harder floors of the dungeon. Rinse and repeat, you have yourself a gameplay loop of constantly delving into dungeons. I know that there are plans to add more lore and sort of add on to the overworld and story, but I wouldn't mind just delving in these dungeons forever. The vibes this dungeon system gives me is basically an exact copy-paste of the same vibes I got from Chalice dungeons from Bloodborne. After playing Dark Souls 3, I realized how much I took this system for granted when I found myself wanting to play more games, but I wanted at least just a little bit different of an environment. Bloodborne's Chalice dungeons provided this perfectly. I understood that a lot of the templates and the layouts were the same, but there was something really fun about just exploring and not knowing the exact spawns that would attack me. While Yellow King scratches the itch I've had for Chalice Dungeon-esque combat, it also seems a bit more ambitious in that it seems to want to do things with guilds and raids and all that nonsense. All of that stuff though sounds pretty far away given the current state of the game. While the roguelike Chalice Dungeon-esque system parts of this game are all working fine, there are still some other problems with this game. One such problem is pretty integral to the game itself. I played that clip twice for a reason. If you missed it, I got fucking hit. I understand it's in early access, but the fighting can be super wonky. Shields don't seem to work on bosses just flat out at all. And often, enemy hitboxes just kind of linger and follow the whole trail of the sword, even when they're not swinging. From this, I'm able to gather that this is pretty much all physics-based combat, which has some pros and some cons. One of the pros is that sometimes, even if I'm not guarding, my shield will just block shit just because it's on my fucking arm. To be honest, I really like it in this specific nuance. On the downside, even if I'm spacing my moves and sweating my ass off, if the enemy just so much as rests his sword in my general direction, I get cut. For those of you who are trying to gouge whether you're interested or not, it's important to remember that these opinions I have right now are from early access. If it really comes to this, you could just put the game on a watch list and just wait till you see something interesting that you want. Not only that, while I do have criticisms of the combat, I also do have to praise it because it lets you do some cheeky shit. Oh my god, that was rad. Dude, you know the anime dash they do? You can jump it.
Nice.
So, it's a bit janky. But is it fun?
Does Banana just die a lot in this game?
Yes, because he... Oh. Yeah, it's pretty good. I still recommend this game. I'm gonna say like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Spinning back to the original start of this video, why is this game so fucking weird? So this is a Souls-like roguelike MMO that currently has cooperative procedural dungeons. In the future, they will be adding raids, guilds, and PvP, as well as additional dungeons. The second dungeon is due in a few days. Chances also dictate that you probably heard about this game from me. Weird shit going on. I don't think this game has any marketing at all, which is super weird because I totally think even in its current state, it's pretty marketable. This game's official trailer has less views than my videos and I don't upload. I've literally never heard of this studio, yet they've already made something that I've spent like 40 hours on. Even the comments are off. I can't talk with anyone about this damn game. This is like the only MMO I've ever played where you can enjoy the whole thing alone, and I mean truly alone. There are many times in this MMO, where I am the only one online, yet somehow it retains me and keeps me in this game cycle. The peak of players of all time was 55. This game isn't a needle in a haystack. This game is like if you took a diamond and hit it throughout the entirety of Earth. It hits so many facets and it hits them so well, but it doesn't tell anybody. I kind of understand because it's in early access, but I've seen early access games start advertising themselves for far less. Some people would just sell an asset flip or just a proof of concept. Yet still, I would hear about that shit. Somehow this game just slipped right under the radar of everybody. This game's been out since February. I think the entirety of this game's advertising is just word of mouth, which is kind of why I'm trying so hard to peddle this game to you. Now, doing research, I did have some concerns, but it's not really with the game itself, more with the developer. The only other real noticeable game I see they made was like a VR boxing game, but they sort of abandoned goals during early access. You can see how that can raise some flags for me, given that this game is in early access and has a lot of plans. Despite that, given the content that's already in the Yellow King, I'm feeling pretty comfortable taking a bet on this early access. If this bites me in the ass, or us, yeah, sorry. Summing that up, early access kinda scary, take the jump if you wanna, I recommend it.
Alright, fucking
yeah.
Wolverine.
So, for the rest of the footage, I'm just going to be showing some co-op from my playthrough with Darius.
This is actually weaker than the
I didn't record much of it, but I figured it's worth seeing for those of you on the fence about buying this. If you get it, you can get it with some buddies, play together. Because from what I've heard, the group size per dungeon is 6, but if you form a guild, it's infinite. So, this could be a good party game too. Anyway, deuces, boys. Hello.
I dropped my
Oh fuck! It's a weapon rack mimic. They hit like a train. They're a huge pain in the ass. Yeah, and they also have double cross. But if you get near them, it's worse.
So it's kind of
Help me out! Help me out! Ah, there's the fucking strike. Okay, I'm at half health. Oh shit, you're dying too.
Yes, I am.
Okay, you dropped the. Ooh, it's a scimitar. What the hell was that noise? Oh, was that you? Wait, there's a freaking cultist following you. I fear no man. If it's a mimic, though, that's enough. That's enough for me. Fuck off! Die! 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 I got the ninja. Okay, I got him. Who's next? Oh.
There's an archer.
I'm going for it! Out the way, nerd! Die! There's 2 archers! This is fucking gay!
Also another weapon rack here.
Is it a mimic?
I have no idea how to tell.
You just have to beat it and find out.
I'm not gonna hit it yet, but
You think about a test with a melee strike? Oh, it is!
Oh my god!
Shit! Fucking mimic! Wait, cheese him. See if you can strike him through this. Yeah, good fuck. Yeah, no, he's learning! Ow! Fuck off! You scary ass spider. Okay. Hey, you dropped a great axe. This is really good. 230 damage.
Yeah, I want to just drop this trash on the floor and just pick this bad boy up. Whoa, that's actually really good.
Fuck off, skeleton archer. No one fucking likes you.
I do.
Don't even lie to yourself. Hey, there's another weapon rack if you're ready.
I'm fucking terrified. There's also like zombies here.
I'm on the way.
Where's this spooky rack?
Oh, it's back there in the room with him. I lost the enemy. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
It's a fucking... It's a fucking... Ah!